Hey everybody, it's ASIC Eric and my messy drum room full of guitar parts, car parts, all kinds of stuff. Gosh, what a mess in here. But cool drum set still. I can still get back around here and play. But that's not the reason I'm in here this morning. I'm trying an experiment today. I have my Mr. Slim Mitsubishi split unit up here that primarily I use for air conditioning. It doesn't really get that cold in here because it's all sealed. But I'm going to try here for a little bit, and this thing has a heat pump mode in it as well, which I hardly ever use. I've got it cranked up to 80 degrees. I'll see if that air will filter out into the garage and warm things up out there for me, just to try and keep things a little more tolerable in the garage. It's really nice toasty air that comes out of that thing. I don't want to really leave this open when I'm working on the car, especially when I'm doing body work. I don't want all that sanding dust getting in here. So I'm just going to leave it open for, I can already feel that just walking through the door there. The big temperature gradient is about a 10-degree difference just walking through the door. Anyway, I'm going to leave that open for a little while I'm prepping and getting to work, and then every once in a while when things calm down I'll open up the door and hopefully a bunch of hot air will flush out of here. Anyway, so today is going to be blocking time on this guy. We're going to see how it goes. For those of you who didn't see the last video, I sprayed 2.5, come on, focus camera. It seems like when it's cold it really has a hard time focusing. I put 2.5 coats of slick sand on this. I got a lot of comments on that video, and there's a couple of things I wanted to clarify with this. I don't really know what I'm doing on this stuff, as I've said multiple times before. I've really tried the slick sand here as an experiment. I'm fully intending that most of this is going to get sanded off. I just wanted to see its filling capabilities and see what it could do. The roof was pretty close, and it may be that after I sand it down all is said and done and everything's happy, or it may not, and that's okay. I'm not too concerned about that. So it is a learning process. All right, so first step on this, I'm gonna go ahead and try some 180 on it and see how it works. I have a feeling I'm gonna need 80, but I'm gonna try the 180 and see how well this stuff starts to sand down. I've never sanded the slick sand before, so I don't really know how good it's gonna go. All right, we have the whole thing covered in the powdered guide coat, and we're going to go ahead and hit it. So my shorter block here has got 180 on it already from before, so I'm going to go ahead and try that. This is the, I can't remember, 17-inch block? The big one's 27. 21 probably. All right, I'm going to try this, and if the 180 is working, then I'll put it on the big block. Well, that does appear to work. Hopefully get a good look at what's going on there. Let me change the camera here. I think I get a better angle of what the guide coat's doing from there. Anyway, the 180 is working. It's gonna, I don't know if it's gonna take off as much material as I'd like, because I don't want to leave that stuff on there super thick, but it depends on how it blocks down. if I've got a lot of blocking to do to get the guide coat to go away, that problem will solve itself, but we'll see. So again, as with anything else, if you see something in my technique you don't like, let me know. And the one thing I'm trying to do with the long block is not work in exactly the same area and create a ridge. So try and work in a spot and then go a little further and then go, or just kind of keep it moving around. Anyway, I'm gonna keep working on that for a while and I'll catch you back on. All right, we're taking a break from the roof for a second here. Just gonna get tired. We're gonna switch to the A-pillar here. I got a flexi block for that. Try and bend it around that radius right there. Do a little work on this. So you can see the guide coat doing its job. Show me where all those spots are. I know this corner down here has too much filler on it, so I'm working a little extra hard on that. I should have sanded this down better before I put the slick sand on. See that breaking through right there, so that's pretty close. I said it's got to work this back edge a little bit. Anyway, etc., etc. My artsy fartsy shot. Anyway, it was about 20 minutes of blocking, I think. I think this piece is done. I have to come at it and look at it a little more carefully, but looks pretty good. So you can see most of the slick sand is gone. You can see the body filler underneath. So that's pretty good. Coming through here, there's a little low spot right there. I can't quite get it out because I'm hitting metal here, so I'm gonna have to do something there. The rest of this is blocking out really nice. This is all smooth in through here. You can see where the low spots are clearly. Hence the reason why I wanted to put slick sand on this thing. There's all these little divots all over it. But I think they're going to block out this corner over here. It's kind of concave right there. So I'm probably going to have to do something over here too. But most of this I think is going to be fine. It might block out beautifully. And then just be left with a few little spots I have to build up. But anyway, it's looking good. This is all done with a 180. I probably could do this with 80. I would go faster. But I don't want to put a bunch of 80 grit scratches in it, so I'm just going to take the long road and do it with 180. And I don't know if this is doing the trick or not in here. It is toasty as hell in here. My glasses even fog up when I come in here. I had the door open a little bit. It's totally comfortable for me in here right now, but I'm working and sweating here, so I've got the halogens on too, so it's comfortable in here right now. I need to get a thermometer to see what the temperature is in here, but maybe I'll order one of those today. Alright, so we're pretty much done with this side of the roof in 180. As you can see, most of the slick sand came off. You can see the epoxy shining through in places and filler in others here. There's a couple little low spots I couldn't really get out. That one, you can't feel it though, so a little bit of glazing putty will be good. There's another little spot right there, but most of it came out. It came out real nice. I blocked this part down too. So everything's looking good here, so I'm moving on to the other side. I'm hurting. This is hard work. I don't have Pops here today, so I got to do it all by myself. Anyway, moving on to the other side now. Okay, so after a real quick rundown with the block, you get an idea of what we're looking at over here. I figured that was going to be a low spot there. You could see that crater when I was putting the slick sand on. So that's probably going to need to be filled. We'll try and block it out, but I doubt it's going to come out. The rest of it's pretty even though. Looks pretty nice. We filled a dent here, we filled a dent there, so there's little low spots here and there. But overall it's pretty flat. It's not bad. So this should block down pretty easy on this side. Even when the guide coat's gone, if I see the slick sand is still thick, I keep going after it to try and thin it off as much as possible. And keep everything even. I don't work in one spot. I'm just blocking everything, and as it's all coming down together, like that corner up there was a little high relative to this, so as I kept blocking this whole thing down, working on that one low spot, everything kept coming down, and it ended up like that. So over here, same thing. I'm going to go after this as much as I can, but I'm working on the whole thing as I do it, so I don't make a big dent there, and then when I see this is getting too thin here, hopefully everything else is thinned out about the same amount. So I'm not working on individual little areas so much, just the whole thing. All right, I think we're gonna call it a day there. It's about all I can muster. It's, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours. I haven't looked at the time, but I'm beat. Man, that's brutal, working on the top of this thing with the big old long block. Oy, oy, oy. But anyway, let me give you a walkthrough of where we ended up. Again, as you can see, most of the slick sand is gone there. You can see the primer and stuff ghosting through on the roof, so it's pretty thin here. There's not a lot left. We got just about everything out on this side, save for that one little spot right there and that couple others over here that I showed you before. But this side of the roof all blocked out fine. The sail panel came out good. This came out nice. I think this may be finally done here. I rounded it off. It's hard to tell because it's got the fiberglass filler and stuff showing through there, so we'll see. I got to put some more, some 2K or something on top of that before we'll be able to really see how that came out. Both of these sides of the car here on these corners are a little low right there, so I'm going to have to put some more filler in there. I'll walk around and show you the other side of the car. So as I suspected, this didn't block out. There's another one there and a few more. This side of the roof is where all the big dents were, so this kind of isn't a surprise. This came out pretty nice here. Focus. Everything looks nice there. So I think we're good. I'm going to put some glaze on these guys. This sail panel is a little worse than the other side. There's a low spot right here, so I'm probably going to grind this out and try and pull that out a little bit and redo this. This whole area down here is all wonky. So in the previous video I said I kind of stopped down here because I saw how bad this was. This is just an extension of that. So there's this big dent that runs all the way through here. I kind of pushed the metal up here, and this got a little wonkified. This is where that patch of metal was that I had to put in somewhere in here. Anyway, so this is a little biffed, but take a look at the shine. This is just 180, but you can already see it's basically flat as it is. So it blocked out beautifully. It's real nice. So I think the right thing to do right here is to put the glaze on these guys, sand these down, and then go over this whole thing with 320. I think that's the right answer. And then this thing is ready to go. Now this car, much like Mr. Fireman 164's Camaro he was working on, when the body work is done, it's not going straight into paint, because I have the whole LS conversion and the T56 and all that stuff to do, and I don't have any of that stuff. And I want to wait till the very last minute to buy that stuff, because it's all going to be new stuff and it'll all be under warranty, and I don't want the warranty expiring while the stuff's just sitting here in the garage. I want to wait, and I know I'm going to have to do modifications to the car to get that stuff in, so I don't want to paint it and then be in there mucking around all that stuff and screwing up my paint. So I think what I want to do with this is get this in 320 and all the rest of the stuff, and epoxy it. So put it in 2 coats of epoxy and then leave it. And then down the road, when it's ready for paint, I'll block down that epoxy and then go through and put the 2K primer on and start finishing it up. And then if there's more body work to be done, finessing, then I'll do that at that time. When the drivetrain and everything's done, the car's a runner at that point, so I can drive it around the block, pull it in and out of the garage, all that kind of stuff. Give it a good wash, etc. But that's my plan. So it's basically, I think, the same as Roger's plan for his Camaro, and I think that sounds like a good plan. But let me know if you disagree. Like I said, I don't want to paint it right away. I don't want to do that. So anyway, long day. I'm beat. Thanks for all your opinions and comments and things, everybody, and I will talk to you later.